Okay, hello and welcome back to an alumni catch-up where I'm joined by Shreya, and she's going to introduce herself and have a bit of a catch-up about what she's been up to and the fact that she's going to be heading to Morgan Stanley in New York soon. So Shreya, how's it going? And tell us a little bit about your background.
Hello, Anthony. It's going really well. First of all, thank you so much for having me over. So as Anthony mentioned, I'm Shreya Arora, and I'm a junior studying finance and digital tech management here at Indiana University. And this coming summer, I'll be going to Morgan Stanley, and I'll be working as a fixed income summer analyst in their sales and trading track. So I'm really looking forward to it. And here on campus, I'm pretty involved in several finance related clubs. And this past 6 months, I've been working with Amplify and as a regional representative. So that has been probably one of the best platforms and the best resource that I've ever had that has helped me secure this internship. And we're going to talk more about it. I'm really looking forward to talking with you.
Okay, cool. Well, look, I mean, first thing is give me a little bit about your background. So am I correct? You're not born in the United States. So where are you from originally? And talk me through that move first, coming to the States from where you're from.
Yes, that is a very interesting story. So I'm originally from India, New Delhi, and I was born and brought up there. And I came to the United States when I was 18, and I had no plans on coming to the United States. But my elder brother, he's just 2 years older to me, and he actually graduated from Purdue and he was doing his computer engineering. So, he had the entire exposure, all the experience, and he so wanted me to come here. He was like, Shreya, if you're going anywhere to study, you're coming to the United States because the kind of exposure you get, the kind of experiences you get, right? So he just wanted me to be here for my undergraduate. And then, of course, just because he was in Indiana, my parents wanted me to be somewhere closer to where I do have family. So I just I applied to like a couple of schools, and I knew that I wanted to do something that was business related. And I wasn't really sure if it was going to be investment banking or investment management. But I knew that I wanted to do finance because my dad has been doing that from last 30 years now. So he was kind of my role model. And yes, that is the little story that pushed me to doing finance. And we'll talk more about why sales and trading and fixed income.
So being a international student and then securing a role at, say, Morgan Stanley in New York, tell me about that process and the process for international students, because it's something that I get quite a lot about the process in terms of timing, about the challenges of sponsorship and these sorts of things. So how was that for you?
Yes, absolutely. When I came here, actually, I just tried to network with people who are also international students, just to know how they were able to secure internships. Because I feel like networking has helped me the most when it came to securing an internship. And yes, the sponsorship is a great issue. Whenever we apply to internships, they just have this one question pop up: do you now or in the future require sponsorship? And of course, we have to hit yes. And that is a great problem for the companies because they have to do a lot of paperwork and pay a lot of money to the government to get us sponsored, get our visa sponsored. So it was always an issue. And people always told me that it's just going to be 5 or 10% of the students getting internships. So I came in with that motivation. The fact that I knew that it was going to be hard, I was already prepared. And I kind of put my all in. And here at Indiana University, I tried to get involved, as I said before. So I got myself involved into the investment management workshop, where we had mentors helping us follow different tracks. So there were 3 tracks that they helped us follow. One was private wealth management, the other was sales and trading, and number 3 was equity research. In that, we had mentors who were working as analysts in different companies, people working at Morgan Stanley, people working at Goldman Sachs and great banks. So, I think having the right mentorship and having the right approach to taking all the interviews and networking with people was kind of very important to get an internship, because all of us know it's hard. So we do have to shine and we do have to do our best so that we're there in that 10%. Definitely now it's not 10% of the students, it's more because companies are just wanting to, just grow more globally and stuff like that. So it's getting better, definitely. But I would say networking with people, having the right mentorship, doing the best interview prep. I remember when I was approaching for my super days, I used to just Google random stuff, the best investment banking interview, like just going through videos that were motivating or that were helping me figuring out what I really need to know for the interview was very important.
You mentioned networking there a couple of times,
Uh-huh.
and networking, I guess, is quite a broad term. So is there something specific advice on the kind of the issue of networking or the topic of networking that you would encourage other people to do or get out of their comfort zone? Or is there anything that you found useful on that side?
Yes, every time I talk to people, I just keep mentioning networking because that has actually helped me the most. And so what I actually did was my mentors in the investment management workshop that I mentioned, they asked me to do a thing. It may actually sound funny, but they wanted me to maintain an Excel sheet. So a proper Excel sheet listing people's names. So I had like different banks, like different sectors, and then people. And then I had a filter turn that the date into like a yellow box when I had to reach out to them again. So like I just set kind of like a 2-month like a limit for when I had to reach back to them. So I think that I just followed that so that and then I also had a little notes section wherein I would just attach a screenshot from whatever I had from the call so that I know that if I'm talking to them again, I can just refer to that. And I'm just reaching out to them continuously. And I think, yeah, I just like reached out to a lot of people. I did a lot of cold emailing, which did not turn out to be 100% successful. Definitely because, when you message people, like when you just reach out to people on LinkedIn, right? It's just hard to get replies and instant replies, especially people who are busy, they're working on the desks, and I understand that. So it was always hard over that. But one thing that people could follow was figuring out what the email format is for the company. So I just figured out the email format for the companies that I was reaching out to and making sure that you're, having an alumni go over that, because it just sounds very weird if somebody's like sending you an email out of the box and you haven't shared your contact information. But yes, I went over the email format, prepared an Excel sheet, talked to over more than 20 people at Morgan Stanley, the New York branch. And every time I was talking to them, I used to refer other people's names and then ask for future recommendations so that I can build a chain. They would definitely refer me to one of their closest, maybe friends or closest, colleague at work. So this is how I created kind of like a chain at different banks. And yes, that was really, really helpful.
That's amazing. I mean, it sounds like incredibly proactive. So credit to you. And it's not weird at all. I mean, I used to do the same when I used to run a team of analysts. And actually, our resource was the contacts that we had in various different pockets of the industry. We'd put on those resources for intel, market intelligence, and you would have periodic notes in your calendars. Haven't spoken to this person for 2 months, for 2 weeks, and what have you. And so, yeah, it's something that continues actually when having contacts is very integral to your function of what you're doing. In this case, securing a job, in my case, executing on a job. So not weird at all. But tell me a little bit more about the kind of process then of getting into Morgan Stanley and securing that role. And was the experience that you had with us, did that come up? The simulations and so forth?
Yes, so it all started in April, and that was the time when I was doing peak recruiting, and I was really, really stressed. And I was like, I had like 3 names in my mind that I really want to get there. These are the positions that I want to work for. And I was literally waking up 4 a.m, doing my readings, and just getting there, just trying to get there. And then I got an email from Morgan Stanley saying that there was this one event called Future Female Traders Program, and Amplify has a collaboration with them. So I kind of had that conference. It went on for 5+ hours, but I remember William being there and leading the entire Amplify simulation. And we were given a chance to be on the trading floor just for people who don't know what we did with being at Amplify, or maybe just going over the simulation. It was just a trading simulation. One time you're working as an investment bank, the other time you're on the side of a hedge fund, and then it's just a trading floor. Like, for me who had never been on a trading floor, and I just, seen amazing pictures of people working in New York. So that was always a dream. But yes, that dream I was able to, fulfill that virtually. And it gave me an insight into how fast paced the world looks like. I never knew that the bid ask could literally change in seconds. I had no clue. But when I actually saw that happening, it just got me motivated. It got me every time. It was just, it was kind of like a challenge to me, something that would, make me think on my feet, and something that was very dynamic. It was every time we were doing something, it was very different at the platform. And yes, talking about the process right after that, it was a great conference. There were people from Morgan Stanley. I reached out to all of them, just typed them a thank you email, and all of them replied, and I set up a call with them so that I was able to connect. And after that, I got my first round interview, which was just a phone call interview. It was kind of like a 25-minute phone call interview, pretty behavioral, some technicals, that was fine. And then we had the super day. That was the best thing that actually ever happened. I remember it was May 20th, and I got my super day invite, and I had 4 back-to-back interviews with people such as, like MDs taking my interviews, somebody on they were like great people. So it was kind of intimidating because also it was on Zoom. But then I just tried to be calm, and the interview went pretty well. And 40 minutes after the interview is what I remember, I got the call from, I had my phone in my hand, and it literally said Morgan Stanley. So it was the most amazing moment. And that was kind of like the process. There were forms that I had to fill, like government forms and stuff like that. So I honestly wasn't expecting them to give me a result this early, but yes, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and I know that my colleague Eddie, who you know very well, he was out in New York just last week running this year's female traders event for Morgan Stanley. So hopefully there's going to be another batch of Amplify people who've gone through our now finance accelerator that are going to be fast tracked and have done that day, and hopefully they'll be following in your footsteps. But look, we'll wrap it up there. I'm sure I hope you don't mind me dropping your LinkedIn profile wherever we share this, and if there's anyone who has any questions at all for Shreya, obviously being an international student in particular, but having gone through that journey just described, then I'm sure she doesn't mind you connecting with her, and she'd be happy to help as would I. Great stuff. All right, well, look, amazing result for you. All the best with your studies, and good luck at MS, and yeah, stay in touch.
Thank you so much, Anthony. It was great talking to you. Thank you so much for having me over.
You're welcome.
All right.